Annie of ByAnnie.com and Patterns by Annie. Thank you so much for joining us today for Live with Annie. As usual, we've started the stream a bit early. This helps us get everything set up and broadcasting properly to our various platforms. You can find a countdown clock on the screen showing how long it will be until we actually go live. While you wait, please connect with us and other viewers in the chat. Let us know where you are from and whether you're a new or longtime viewer. We'll see you live soon. Thanks again for joining us for Live with Annie. We are so happy to have you with us today. While you wait for the program to start, we hope you'll enjoy the content playing on screen. There's so much inspiration, so take a moment to tell us what you love in the chat. Don't forget there is a countdown clock on the screen so you know how long until we go live. Hi, it's Annie again, reminding you that we'll be going live with this week's episode shortly. There is a countdown clock on the screen showing how much time is left. You've got just enough time to grab some water or a beverage of your choice and a snack, and to connect with us in the chat. We'd love to hear what you've been working on this week. again, it's Annie, back to remind you that we'll be starting this week's live very shortly. We've got a really fun episode planned for today, and we'll see you soon. Hi, I'm Annie of ByAnnie.com and Patterns by Annie. Thank you so much for joining us for episode 4 of season 5 of Live with Annie. Today's live is all about celebrating local quilt shops. These shops are the lifeblood of this industry. They inspire and educate us, and they work hard to create inclusive communities of makers. Stay tuned to learn if your favorite shop is a winner in this year's contest. It is always such a treat to connect with you, and we thank you for making the time to be with us. I hope you enjoy our weekly episodes as much as we enjoy making them, and that you've picked up some good tips and techniques as well as inspiration for new projects. If you enjoy these episodes, please take a minute to follow us wherever you are watching. And if you know someone else who you think might enjoy the information that we share, we would really love it if you'd tell them about Live with Annie too. The easiest way to do that is to just tag them while you're watching. That will take them directly to the episode so they can watch it too. We love reading your comments too, so be sure to interact with us throughout this presentation. Be sure to add any questions you might have in the comments or chat, and we will do our best to answer them before we close. Last week, we had a great visit with Bob Purcell of YLI Threads. Bob has over 26 years of experience in the thread industry, and he shared lots of great information about threads, needles, tension, and more. If you missed that episode or want to watch it again, remember that you can find all the previous 186 episodes of Live with Annie on our YouTube channel or at ByAnnie.com. Due to recent changes at Facebook, previous episodes will only be available on our Facebook page for 30 days, so be sure to visit the other locations for the older episodes. We've put up all the links to make them easy for you to find. Okay, a quick drink before we get started. Today we are celebrating local quilt shops around the world. As we often say, these shops are the backbone of our creative communities. Shop owners and their staff are on the front lines, answering questions and teaching new makers the joy of creating and keeping more experienced makers inspired and advancing in their skills. Our business is stronger because of local quilt shops, and protecting them keeps the whole industry strong and vibrant. So we are especially excited today to announce the winners in our 8th annual Local Quilt Shop Contest. We started this contest way back in 2018 as a way to celebrate and recognize local quilt shops and create the opportunity for makers like you to share what makes your local quilt shop special to you. That year, there were 2,640 votes for 657 stores. Not bad for a first year. 8 years later, total eligible votes grew to almost 23 times that amount, with 60,563 eligible votes. That's over 7,000 more votes than in last year's record-breaking contest. In addition, the total number of stores to receive votes has more than tripled to 2,322 stores in 14 countries. Within the United States, all 50 states were well represented. Stores in Alabama, Florida, and Michigan received the most votes, though voting was brisk all across the map. 35 states received more than 500 votes, with 20 of those states receiving more than 1,000 votes. 2 states really rocked the vote. Voting was hot in Texas with almost 2,300 votes for 155 stores. and more than 3,000 votes were cast for 63 shops in Alabama. As in 2024, Canadian shops really got out the vote, with almost 30% more stores, 166, receiving over 7,500 votes. That's an average of almost 50 votes per store. There were some especially tight races in Canada, and if you've ever questioned how important your vote can be, regional winners in 2 provinces won by just 2 votes each. If you think that's close, in one U.S. state, a shop won by just 1 vote. Talk about a swing state. Whew. There were several shops competing for the Canada Grand Prize, and positions changed often throughout the contest. When the dust settled, there were 4 Canadian shops in the top 20 for total votes worldwide. That is impressive. So thank you all for voting, spreading the word about the contest, and most importantly, supporting your local quilt shops. We really loved reading the comments that you made about your favorite shops, and it quickly became apparent what makes a shop special. Over and over, you wrote to say how much you appreciated happy, friendly, helpful, patient, and knowledgeable staff, a feeling of inclusion and community, education and support, and of course, a good selection of patterns, fabrics, notions, and more. I will be announcing the grand prize winners shortly, but before I do, I just want to say that every single local quilt shop in the contest is a winner. As I have talked to store owners who participated in the contest, I repeatedly heard them say how much they enjoy the contest and how much they appreciate reading your comments. Whether a store got 1 vote or 1,000 votes, seeing that their hard work is appreciated really means so very much. This contest is all about sharing the love and recognizing as many local quilt shops as possible. So in 2025, we continued with the major changes that we made last year. Not only did we award grand prize winners in the US, Canada, Australia, and the UK, but we also awarded regional prizes to stores who received at least 50 votes in 49 United States, 9 Canadian provinces, and 5 additional countries. We also added a new prize this year, the Creative Hub Award. This award is designed to promote and recognize stores with an inspiring environment and a strong community. This award is not determined by number of votes, but rather by customer comments. So a total of 66 shops around the world will be receiving prizes in this year's contest. You will find the full list of winners on the LQScontest.com website. Note that there are separate blogs for the US, Canada, and international winners, and we've also posted individual blogs showcasing the 4 grand prize winners and the 4 Creative Hub winners. Over the coming weeks, we'll be posting individual blogs for all the regional winners, so be sure to check often to learn about amazing shops around the world. We want to give a special thanks to our 2025 sponsors for helping us award thousands of dollars in prizes to these winners. In addition to ByAnnie.com, we had help from a long list of amazing sponsors. The Jaftex Corporation, H&H Americas, Schmetz Needles, Erie Quilt Art in Canada, HQW Distributors in Australia, XLN Fabrics in Australia, Handtex Distributors in the UK, the Craft Industry Alliance, and Shop Hop Inc. We are so thankful to all of the sponsors who helped make this year's contest the best ever. You guys are awesome. Okay, let's announce some winners. As I said earlier, it quickly became apparent what you love about your favorite local quilt shop. Friendly and helpful staff who provide great service and education, as well as a good selection of products. However, as I read the 4,375 comments submitted for the 4 grand prize winners, I also saw that each store had its own unique personality and special qualities that set it apart. So in today's episode, I'm going to let you, the voters, tell the story of each winning shop and what makes it special. Be sure to also check out the individual winner blogs that we posted on the LQS website today. In each of those, the shop owner is telling the story of their shop. They're sharing the history of how they started, telling us about their store, products, and staff, and sharing photos to help us really experience what makes them unique. We are going to start by traveling to the other side of the world to visit our friends down under. It's early morning there. I hope some of them are up and watching. This year, more Australian stores than ever received votes in the contest, with 93 stores receiving 1,816 votes. That is 50% more stores than last year and 35% more votes. So thank you to everyone in Australia who voted and helped spread the word. I am very pleased to announce that the 2025 Grand Prize for Australia goes to Kim's Sewing and Patchwork Centre in Warana, Queensland, Australia. When we called Kim to let her know that her store was a winner, they were in the process of preparing for Cyclone Alfred, which was due to hit the Sunshine Coast of Australia, right where they're located. At that point, there was a major concern of lots of rain and high winds. Kim noted that the store is situated fairly high, so flooding wasn't of big concern, but they were worried that the roof might be blown off the store. They are a Bernina dealer with an extensive inventory, so they were working to move lots of sewing machines to a safer place. Thankfully, the cyclone rolled on past without wind damage on the Sunshine Coast, so they moved all the machines back to the store, and just after that was accomplished, the rain started, and 16 inches of rain fell in the matter of a few hours. That meant flooded rows and more days of store closure. But Kim assured us that all are safe and sound, and they reopened for business yesterday. Kim's cheerful attitude shone through when she told me, "We lost 5 days of trading, but we gained 5 days of sewing." That's looking on the bright side for sure. Customers who voted for Kim's praised the store's staff, selection, service, and positive energy. Their informative and well-organized classes for all levels on a variety of topics, the welcoming community that the store has developed, and the shop's extensive display of ByAnnie samples, as well as their expert knowledge of ByAnnie patterns, products, and techniques. Bev wrote, "Kim stocks everything I need to complete all my sewing endeavors: fabrics, patterns, bag-making equipment, hardware, notions, etc. Kim and her super-friendly staff provide great advice, assistance, and enthusiasm when I'm in the shop. She also offers a fantastic range of classes covering all areas of sewing: bag making, quilting, machine embroidery, and hand stitching." When asked what makes Kim's her favorite shop, Laura wrote, "The service. The team at Kim's are the best ever. I have been learning to quilt, and every person I've called on for help has been outstanding, so encouraging, and so willing to share their knowledge. They have been pivotal in teaching me a lifelong creative skill." Bonette agreed, saying, "I did my first ByAnnie bag making class a little while ago. Having never done anything like this before, I had no idea what I was doing. But Kim was so great, suggesting a beginner-friendly project, showing me tips and tricks, and making sure I had an almost finished project when I left. Not only was Kim terrific, but the vibe amongst the group was so lovely. It was friendly and helpful." Jenny added, "All the patterns I was considering had samples available to try out. I was able to get the size I needed after trying the sample for space and carrying." And Linda wrote, I particularly enjoy the monthly Bernina Club. So much knowledge is passed on to the club members through demos, instructions, answers to questions, and meaningful conversations." And Melissa noted, "Every time I attend a class or Sit and Sew Day, I notice how everyone feels included, feels welcome, and feels valued. There's an opportunity to relax and connect with other sewing enthusiasts. All of those things really make our local quilt shop so incredibly special, and I understand exactly which each of these customers mean. I had the pleasure of meeting Kim and her team when I visited Australia in 2018. I taught several classes at her store, and I still remember the great vibe in the store and how much her customers already knew about ByAnnie patterns and products. Kim truly is a ByAnnie expert. We send a big congratulations to Kim and everyone at Kim's Sewing and Patchwork Center. I can't wait to see Kim and Maddie in Chicago this summer and hope to make a trip to visit your store in Queensland again soon. All right, next we are going to travel to Europe to announce the grand prize winner in the United Kingdom. Last year, 8 shops received 340 votes in the UK. This year, 23 shops, almost 4 times more, received 878 votes. That's over 2.5 times more votes this year. We are very pleased to present the 2025 Grand Prize for the United Kingdom to Patchwork Dreamer in Bodmin, Cornwall. Mary, the owner of Patchwork Dreamer, started an online store over 20 years ago. Business has steadily grown, and Mary opened her first brick-and-mortar store in 2019. From there, she moved into a small cabin, but needing for more space for stock and classes, she moved into her current location in Bodmin in April of 2024. Customers who voted for Patchwork Dreamer overwhelmingly raved about Mary, the helpful, kind, friendly, patient, generous, and knowledgeable owner, the beautiful fabrics and yarns that she stocks, the fabulous classes and get-togethers offered, and the great community that Patchwork Dreamer has created. Sarah said, "Mary always has a smile and patience, and nothing is too much trouble. As a beginner, Mary was so supportive and patient, giving me confidence and encouragement and helping me believe in myself." Jenny said that she appreciates the friendliest of welcomes and a great range of fabric. She said Mary gives a huge amount back to the community, coordinating quilts for caregivers, providing a space for people to come together and craft, and teaching the next generation of quilters. Magdalene wrote, "The owner Mary is most welcoming, generous with her time and advice. She offers sessions with professional quilters, bag and purse makers, dressmakers, knitting, and she's always open to suggestions if a customer requires or suggests something new. She will also order specifically for an individual. Mary never stocked wool, to us yarn, but locals were unable to purchase wool without traveling a minimum of 30 miles round trip. Now, not only does she stock it, she also runs classes in all wool-related crafts." Michelle added, "Patchwork Dreamer has a wonderful collection of fabrics, panels, books, haberdashery, wool, embroidery thread, and so much more. Mary, the owner, is amazing. She arranges coffee, craft and chat evenings for everyone to gather and share knowledge and friendship. Mary is a wonderful teacher and so inspiring." And Gail shared, "It's local, fun, friendly, and helpful, a great community asset. I made 3 new friends by joining a Learn to Hand patchwork group." And Wendy admitted that she often has trouble deciding what to buy and enjoys knowing that she can tell the owner, "I want one of everything," to which Mary replies, "That can be arranged." I loved reading all those comments and would love to meet Mary and learn from her too. We send many, many congratulations to Mary and everyone at Patchwork Dreamer. You can go down, Glow. Next, we are going to visit our neighbor and valued friend to the north, Canada. As I said earlier, there was some fierce competition between shops in Canada again this year, and some exciting fluctuations in the top rankings throughout the contest, all the way to the very end. We are so pleased to announce that the grand prize winner for Canada in the Local Quilt Shop Contest is Black Rabbit Fabrics in Penticton, BC. Penticton. This lovely store in the Okanagan Valley of British Columbia stepped up to the plate when 2 other local stores closed upon their owners' retirements. Originally a store catering to garment makers, Black Rabbit Fabrics pivoted and listened to customers, creating a home for quilters, bag makers, and other creatives with a large learning center classroom that offers classes to makers of all ages and abilities. Customers who voted for Black Rabbit repeatedly mentioned how much they appreciate this store's great service and their efforts to better serve the community, the delightful, creative, and welcoming staff, the wonderful classes for makers of all ages, interests, and abilities, and the wonderful selection of fabrics, patterns, and bag-making supplies. Tierney wrote, "The store is a hub for creative people of all skill levels. They have quality merchandise, classes by qualified instructors, and supplies not available elsewhere." Barb says that she appreciates the staff's friendliness and that they are always willing to help. The variety of products, including upmarket products for quilting and crafting needs, as well as a large line of ByAnnie products, and their knowledgeable and creative instructors. A special moment for Barb was seeing a student look at the first bag she had ever made, an ultimate travel bag made using Tula fabrics, stand back and weep, saying, "I can't believe I made that." I love that. Raja wrote, "The knowledge and support I have received from them while working on my projects has been confidence building. Being new to quilting, their kindness and care with me has been great. They also run youth programs to get kids to sew. That is fantastic for the community." Joy noted, "The joy and effort they put into helping me find the perfect things I need is what makes them stand out in my mind. This is a place of positivity and connectedness for all who enter there." Sharon recognized the store's friendly staff and great lessons, saying they are very patient when my 5-year-old wants to pick out fabric. And Elizabeth said she likes that the staff treat you amazing and like family, even when you're a teenager. "The ladies helped me get an A in my high school sewing class project with their kindness and knowledge about sewing. There was also a very kind teenager behind the counter who was very helpful." And Amy praised the store's selection of fabrics and the world's quickest fulfillment times for online orders. She added, "I shop exclusively online, but enjoy their social media presence where folks can share their makes with each other." Lisa also praised the store's social media outreach, saying, "Great social media videos to keep us informed of what's happening in the store, new shipments of fabric, classes, etc." And Lorraine said, "There is always a well-stocked ByAnnie pattern wall," I love hearing that, "and all the necessary fabric, hardware, and bits and bobs to complete any project I want to try. Whenever I have a sewing or quilting conundrum, I know I have a place to go to for a solution." And Samantha said she loves their small-town charm, and the staff are so welcoming and informative. "As a new quilter, I was hesitant to go in and ask about long-arm quilting, but they were kind and explained the process with no judgment." I loved all of those comments and know that Black Rabbit fabric embodies what all of us appreciate in our favorite stores, a non-judgmental attitude and genuine interest in helping us learn and succeed. Big, big congratulations to Lath and Yvonne and all the crew at Black Rabbit. I hope to meet you in Chicago in May. Finally, we will end in the United States, where voting was brisk throughout the contest, with 1,964 stores receiving 48,760 votes. We are excited to announce that the grand prize winner for the USA for 2025 is So Charming in Clanton, Alabama. This store has been the regional winner for Alabama in the past 2 years. And when I saw Penny and Emily last year at the H&H show in Chicago, they told me that they were determined to be the grand prize winner this year. And they worked hard to get there. And with almost 3,000 votes cast for their store, They achieved that with room to spare. Over and over, customers who voted for So Charming raved about Penny and Emily's friendly, kind, and helpful service, their informative YouTube videos, the store's willingness to teach you how to make a quilt or even make it for you, and the excellent selection in the store and the store's willingness to order items that aren't in stock. Janet wrote, "Penny is what makes this quilt shop stand out. She is a great teacher and such a loving and kind person. She puts out consistent videos that teach piecing, videos that show all the fabrics and tools her shop has ordered and received, and subscribers spotlights where everyone can see what other quilters have done. Basically, Penny is just a wonderful cheerleader." Catherine agreed, adding, "I thoroughly enjoy Penny and Emily's YouTube channel. I have fun and laugh with them. I have also learned so much about quilting and sewing techniques from them. Thanks to Penny's thoughtful and straightforward approach in teaching, I have completed my first quilt top." Barbara wrote, "I have been encouraged to get back into quilting after many years because of their wonderful online videos." And Gail said, "The orders I've placed with them have always been packed very well and shipped very quickly, usually the same day. I just think their shop is very appropriately named. They are so charming. They have the best selection of all the quilty goodness, and if they don't have what you're looking for, Penny will be happy to order it for you." Carla wrote, "The shop doesn't just sell materials to make quilts, but will help you through the process or even put your pieces together for you. They are helpful every step of the way." And Alicia shared, "I'm restoring my great-grandmother's wedding ring quilt, and the ladies were so helpful with the knowledge of how to restore it without damaging it." Janice said, "No matter how busy the shop may be, Penny and Emily are always front and center, listening, answering questions, and helping customers. Whether sharing stories or helping you find the perfect fabric, by the time you leave, you feel as though you have just had a sweet visit with old friends." And Rosemary wrote, "I love the down-home personality of this shop. While on vacation in Montgomery, Alabama, we found this little quilt shop. My 2 nieces and I spent some time exploring and visiting. We found that this little gem had everything we were looking for and more. Our luggage was several pounds heavier when we boarded the plane home." And Linda says she loves the fact that no matter where we live, we are all part of So Charming's community. "I appreciate the clear instructional videos that are not hurried and the fact that I can reach out with questions or ask for help. I love the Quilting Corner where members share their stories, lives, and so many of their projects with photos for all of us to enjoy." I have to say, that really is the amazing part of this quilting and sewing community. Being able to connect with others around the world who share our interests, to share our knowledge and ideas, to show off our projects and help each other really is such a blessing, isn't it? So we send great congratulations to Penny and her daughter Emily and everyone else at So Charming for their win, and thank them for inspiring and educating so many loyal customers. Congratulations to all of the grand prize winners. I hope we will see all of you in person at the H&H show in Chicago in May. Also, for all of you watching, remember that each of these stores will have a ByAnnie trunk show coming their way as part of their prize package, so be sure to watch for details of that coming soon. All right, let's move on to our newest prize, the Creative Hub Award. To promote and recognize stores with an inspiring environment and strong community, we created a new award this year, planning to choose 3 amazing stores to receive it. Winners were chosen based on voters' comments rather than votes. We looked for stores with continuing educational opportunities, positive local community impact, inspiring atmosphere, personal connection with customers, and creative encouragement, support, and advice. I have to say, I read so many customer comments over the past week. And can I just say, there are really some incredible shops in this world. Choosing winners for this award was really, really hard. I am so proud to be part of an industry who works so hard to inspire, educate, and connect with customers, to support their communities and to give encouragement and support. As I said, we ignored numbers of votes for this award, and we focused on customer comments, looking for stores large and small who best represented the qualities of a creative hub for their customers. In the end, I just could not narrow it down to 3 winners, so we are recognizing 4 stores with this inaugural award. And I'm going to announce these winners in alphabetical order. So I have to have a drink before I start. So the first one is Artistic Artifacts in Alexandria, Virginia. Customers who voted for Artistic Artifacts were especially erudite and creative in their comments about the store's amazing staff, great selection, fabulous classes, clubs, trips, and the feeling of community that the store has developed. Marta wrote, "Artistic Artifacts is not merely a shop. It's a community of creative minds, a hub of buzzing art expressed through a multitude of different styles and techniques. Here, renowned artists convene to teach and show their work and expertise enthusiastically and generously, while customers often become friends who also share their knowledge and inspiration. You will always feel welcome and appreciated, and your work will always be valued, whether award-winning or a novice's first try." The talented owner and founder, Judy Gula, spearheads an array of diverse activities and initiatives that span from lively and eclectic show and tell to creative fundraising and charity events, all the way to international retreats. Her enthusiasm spans 3 continents. Marianne added, "The owner, Judy Gula, is the reason that this store stands out to me. Judy has an eye for the unique in fabric and mixed media. She has a heart for sharing her love of how to use the unique items from around the world and seeing you take it in your own direction. Judy is a citizen of the world. She tries to help artisans throughout the world get recognition for their work and get paid a fair wage." Susan wrote, "I remember that feeling I had as a child visiting my grandmother, running in to find my favorite toys and dress-up box, the favorite smells and cookies in a tin, and also exploring for all things new and different since my visit the previous summer. That's the wonderful feeling I have when I enter Artistic Artifacts. I see my favorite things mixed with new creative additions and lots of samples for inspiration. It's the place I go to get my favorite Bernina seam rippers, ByAnnie supplies and patterns, and look, wood blocks, shot cottons, dyed fabrics, etc. And a warm welcome too. The staff is lovely, the creativity is unmatched, and I am blessed to be uplifted and inspired by Artistic Artifacts." Catherine said, "Artistic Artifacts stands out because of their positive promotion and acceptance of art in many forms. The talented artists who work and teach at Artistic Artifacts know exactly how to tap into the mind of wonder, offering ideas, ears, and guidance when shopping, learning, or seeking. Not only does Artistic Artifacts have a collection of fabrics that can keep one dreaming for days, their mixed media and fiber products tickle the brain with desires to create. Artistic Artifacts' Saturday morning Facebook Live begins the weekend with a spirit of inspiration, leaving the imagination to be free." And Shauna added, "This shop has it all. Not just great fabrics and mixed media textile supplies, but sewing machines and support for those machines. I really love the community that is built up and supported through all of the programming, classes, monthly sharing meetings, and textile trips. I was looking for opportunities to be creative in my retirement. I have found them through this store and community. An unexpected bonus was discovering an opportunity to travel with Judy and like-minded women. I have learned so much in the last 7 months, thanks to the weekly emails and Facebook Live presentations." Turner wrote, "The shop runs workshops and creative retreats and donates to disaster relief programs. I love this place. I can always find solace and support when I go there. I joined a monthly Judy's Artistic Minds get-together, and despite not knowing anyone there, I was greeted warmly and pulled into the community of creative people. I remember showing my collage work with embarrassment and how responsive and supportive everyone was about my work. At last, I thought, I have found my tribe. That's so great. Christine said, this is truly a neighborhood shop. It actually has created its own community of quilters and crafters, and it has the feel of your favorite neighborhood coffee shop, just without the coffee. I go for advice and color consultations when I need quilting thread or when I need to pick a backing fabric for a quilt top that I just finished. They are always happy to help. And Carl added, if I were to characterize artistic artifacts in one word, it would be community. Judy and her amazing staff make you feel like family the moment you walk into the store. I have seen time and again how a person wanders in to see what the store is all about and leaves with a huge smile and a sense of belonging. Frankly, the art and quilts that are created by the team and customers is just the icing on an extremely big cake made of love, kindness, empathy, and inclusion. Way to go, Artistic Artifacts. Wow, I agree. Way to go, Judy and everyone there. I am so impressed with your store, your mission, and I am very proud to celebrate you as a Creative Hub winner. Congratulations. Okay, more water. I'm going to go through 2 bottles today. Lots of talking. All right. The next Creative Hub winner is Cut Up and Sew in Palm Coast, Florida. Customers who voted for Cut Up and Sew praise the store's owner and staff, the feeling of community and belonging that they've instilled, their weekly live videos, and the many varied charity projects that the store organizes. Cassie wrote, I feel like a part of the Cut Up and Sew family every moment I step foot in the store. In addition to all of the beautiful fabric throughout the shop, they offer a wide variety of classes in both skill level and types of sewing projects. The owner is always looking out for everyone and is such a good businessman. He is also forward-thinking by looking at what people want, bringing in experts, and reaching out to the community. He recently went to a local elementary school to participate in a math night to teach the kids some measuring and cutting. We have to start them young. He brought a variety of fabric, rulers, marking pens, rotary cutters, cutting boards, and other notions so the kids could create fabric bookmarks. They designed, measured, cut, and decorated bookmarks. Most of the kids had never worked with fabric before, so their curiosity and enthusiasm was quite evident by all of the smiles. Josh was a hit. I have no doubt of that. Carrie recognized the store's great products, excellent service, strong community relationships, and inviting space. She said Josh and his team have built an amazing sewing space for all to enjoy. All of the charity sewing events are special. I have learned so much from others and shared my knowledge with them. Connecting with others over sewing is a special experience that regularly boosts my mental health. I think we can all relate to that. Fiona said she appreciates the energy and passion that Josh and his team brings to the whole community, saying this place is the cornerstone of the sewing community in Palm Coast. We are so lucky to have Josh and his team, and I look forward to their live streaming every Monday and Saturday. Pat added, the store is without a doubt one of the most community-building stores I have ever been a customer at. Their connection with the community has helped myself and others weather the storms life brings us all. And Bonnie said that she appreciates the friendliness, helpfulness, encouragement, and enthusiasm of the staff and owners of Cut Up and Sew. So, most importantly, the concern that the owners and teachers have to making their shop and classroom accessible and welcome to all members of the quilting community. From making both locations easy to navigate for the disabled in wheelchairs, always asking what the store could do better, time and dates of classes, fabric to carry, etc., and then actually acting on the input. They set the tone of encouragement by setting the bar of kindness and respect high through example and gentle persuasion. Both locations of Cut Up and Sew aspire to bring the quilting community closer together by hosting frequent charity sewing events, Project Linus, Dress a Girl, and more, and supporting local charities such as cat rescues. I have never felt the sense of belonging so strong with its ethical outreach to the whole of the sewing community. And Susan said the owners and staff are delightful, and the ideas are always fresh and inspiring. I especially like the wide variety of classes, events, and activities. All are well thought out and executed. I truly look forward to every visit. We are so fortunate to have this amazing community of creative and kind people. My very first charity sew was so welcoming and warm, with lots of smiles and laughter. I instantly felt I was among friends, and I was hooked. Judith credited much of the success of the store to the sincerity of the owner, Josh, saying, "He really is dedicated to bringing people together to form a community of people to sew." His recent acquisition of a second shop, Cut Up and Sew St. Augustine, has brought community charity quilting as a priority. No matter what state of mental sewing distress I go in there with, they always know how to make me laugh and get me excited again. It is inspiring. And Peggy added, "It is truly a community with Josh as a strong leader, listening to fresh ideas, growing this community with input by all. You never know what fun is on the horizon that you are going to be part of. I am new to the area, and I was welcomed with kindness and inclusion. I am so thankful to find my Cheers Sewing Center." When asked what's special about the store, Anita replied, "For me, it is the staff, led by Josh, the owner. It is a welcoming place as soon as you walk in. There is a sense of community, a sense of caring, a sense of education and help. They want you to leave their store with a feeling of satisfaction, regardless of what you brought into this store." I think that is such an admirable goal, and we are really happy to recognize Cut Up and Sew as one of this year's Creative Hub Awards. Keep up the good work, Josh, Christy, and everyone at Cut Up and Sew. Next, please help me celebrate East Coast Quilt Co. in St. John's, Newfoundland, Canada. Customers who voted for East Coast Quilt Co. overwhelmingly mentioned the friendly, helpful, and knowledgeable staff, the store's fabulous selection, beautiful layout, fantastic classes, happy atmosphere, and amazing view, and of course, the store mascot and greeter, Maggie May the Beagle. Heather wrote, "The shop is staffed by the most welcoming and accepting people who always find a way to bring a smile to your face, make you laugh, and inspire you to try new things and challenge yourself. They care so darn much and are loved by everyone, far and wide. They are the heart of our arts community and always reach for that extra mile." Michelle agreed and said, "The store has a wonderful atmosphere with creative displays and projects to inspire you. I love attending classes there. I love that I never feel judged on my work, but encouraged. I can get advice as I sew, and that is everything to me." Megan said, "I love their unique blend of cultural, traditional, and modern supplies in the heart of North America's oldest city. A special moment was when I realized how many local artists were being supported by the shop through the sale of locally designed and made fabrics and supplies." Anne shared, "I wandered in one evening and asked if the Embroiderers Guild could host a stitch-in for World Embroidery Day. Not only did they agree to allow us in, but they created a sign-up for non-embroiderers and supplied all the materials for a small project for the Guild to teach some stitches." John added, "I took a Level 1 quilting course and followed it up by taking the Level 2 session being offered by the store. I had never touched a sewing machine before. A year later, I own 2 sewing machines and a serger, and I am an active member of the vibrant fiber art community in St. John's. This amazing journey into the art of textiles is thanks to them." Anne said, "When another quilter and I won awards in an out-of-province quilt show, the store held a reception for us, complete with hors d'oeuvres and bubbles, asked us to talk about our winning quilts, and displayed them for a while afterwards." I loved reading that. Charisse shared, "I took an embroidery class a few years back. I learned new techniques and met amazing people who helped me feel like I was part of a creative community again. Most importantly, I felt inspired after every class to go home and continue embroidering and come up with new projects. In a world where free time is hard to come by, having that inspiration and joy brought back to me really helped me reclaim some of that personal time to do something that just brought me joy. I love that statement too, and it's so true. I so enjoyed learning more about East Coast Quilt Co., and I really want to go visit them. Their area of the world looks amazing, and the whole team there looks like so much fun. Be sure you check out our blog about them and click on where it says video to see the fun reels that they posted during the contest. They were really well done and definitely made all of us laugh. So check those out. All right. Last but certainly not least in our Creative Hub Awards is Silver State Stitch Shop in Boulder City, Nevada. Open for less than a year, the store is owned by Jessica, who is also the main employee. She is joined by some dear quilting friends, and they all take pride in helping every customer who comes into the shop. Their goal is to create an environment that fosters social connection while inspiring customers to continue creating. Customers who voted for Silver State Stitch Shop, that's a tongue twister, praised the store's friendly and helpful owner, the shop's inspiring displays and classes, and the strong feeling of community that the store is developing in this small town. Maria wrote, "This small town shop in historic Boulder City, Nevada, caters to locals as well as visitors. It has a super friendly atmosphere, beautiful bolts of fabrics and pre-cuts displayed in vintage style. There are scheduled classes as well as open stitch and sewing days throughout the month. I had the pleasure of being there on opening day to witness not only a line of customers ready to enter the shop, but a group of women business owners in line to welcome another new woman-owned business. There is so much support for this young business owner in a special historic community." Cindy added, "The shop owner is fulfilling her teenage dream of opening a quilt shop in our small town. Every person is warmly greeted with a recliner for the non-shopper. Classes are given for the beginner to advanced, and the classroom is available at no cost for friends to have their private events. People join at the classroom tables to sew and share ideas. Classes are offered which combine sewing with cross-stitch and make original creations. More importantly, it provides a place for people to meet new friends and gives them something to look forward to." Victor chimed in saying, "You don't feel like you're walking into a shop. It's more like a craft studio where you can hang out with your friends." And Fiona wrote, "The store has a cozy and welcoming atmosphere. It has been really great getting to know both the quilting and cross-stitch community that they have created through their store. I wish them much success as they continue to grow." Kevin said he appreciates the fact that this little store packs so much creative punch into it with shelves of beautiful fabric, shop samples galore, kits, thread, notions, and awesome friendliness. This store offers many opportunities to gather for sewing and friendship. Antoinette recognized that the store has such a creative environment with classes, kits, and ideas on display, and terrific customer service and support. "I've taken a break from quilting and have many mystery UFOs. I've joined the UFO Club and have so much support, creative ideas, and inspiration from the shop and fellow members during the process of getting back into finishing long-sitting projects. I have entered my first complete project into a quilt show at their suggestion. This is such a supportive environment." Sharon said this new shop is very welcoming, always providing a warm welcome when you first enter the store. In the short time since its opening in May of 2024, it has become a gathering place for people to come in to shop and attend classes. Even more important is that people now have a place to meet others and make new friends during the classes and social activities. Laura wrote, "This shop adds value to our community through classes, knowledge, and always making the extra effort to supply what I need. I love the classroom environment. If I'm working on a difficult project, there is always someone who is willing to help figure it out. And Jeannie shared, I love this new shop. It's a great gathering place for open sewing to spend times with friends as we pursue our passions for sewing and quilting. Wendy shared that she appreciates the variety of products for both cross-stitch and quilting and sew days and classes that accommodate both. It's such a fun place to meet and just sit and stitch or quilt with friends. Dawn added, it provides a sense of community for visitors and locals alike. The enthusiasm of the owner and staff really allow for some great energy. Vicki said, from the moment you step inside the store, you are welcomed home. Our quilt group came to the store for a sew-in to make quilts of valor. The store was so welcoming, providing everything we needed. We were able to complete several quilt tops with many more in the works. Missy wrote, the selection is always new and fresh. There are so many amazing ways to introduce quilting to a whole new generation. When I was unable to make it to the shop in person, she made sure I had everything I needed to complete my project. Jessica kept it from becoming a project I would never finish, turning it into something I couldn't wait to start. Needing some more water. Samuel shared, the fantastic selection and a very welcoming atmosphere make this shop the perfect place to gather to work on projects, learn through classes, or to browse for inspiration for my next project. I typically keep to crochet for most of my craft projects, but I saw a fantastic cross-stitch design that I just had to have, even if it was my very first one. The owner was able to guide me through everything I needed to make the project a success. You can tell how much love and care goes into their work just from the projects on the wall and the way they handle their customers. I really enjoyed learning more about Jessica's shop and supportive community, and I wish Silver State Stitch Shop very much success. All right. Wow. What fun to feature those 8 awesome shops from around the world. Remember that each of these stores will win, among other things, a ByAnnie trunk show, so be sure to watch our events page and our email newsletter to find out when those are scheduled. Let's move on now to some regional prize winners. As we mentioned earlier, in order to be eligible for prizes this year, each store was required to get a minimum of 50 votes. We will be featuring each of these shops on the LQS blogs in the coming weeks, but we wanted to at least announce the names of winners today. We know that many of the stores are having watch parties as we announce the winners. We're going to start with our international winners. Before I do that, I gotta get one more drink. In Germany, the winner is Quiltzauberry in Dinslaken. In the Netherlands, Quiltwinkel Margriet Otto in Lockham. In New Zealand, Curtis Fabrics in Waipukura. In the United Kingdom, Lovely Jubbly Fabrics in Ferndown, Wilburn, and Jade at Lovely Jubbly is a member of our Hall of Fame as she was the 2024 Grand Prize winner in the UK. Next, we want to announce the regional winners in Canada. In Alberta, Dragon's Heart Quilt Shop in Pincher Creek. In British Columbia, Black Rabbit Fabrics in Penticton, who is also the Canadian Grand Prize winner. In New Brunswick, The Fabric Cupboard in Moncton. In Newfoundland and Labrador, East Coast Quilt Co. in St. John's. Nova Scotia, Oh So Savvy in Oxford. Ontario, Stitch by Stitch in Kingston. On Prince Edward Island, Quilting Bee and More in Charlottetown. In Quebec, Boutique SMT in Terrebonne. And in Saskatchewan, Peachtree Quilt Shop in Regina. In the U.S., we've got a lot of winners, so let's do these in alphabetical order. Starting in Alaska, Stitch in Time in Palmer. In Alabama, So Charming Quilt Shop in Clanton, who is also the 2025 Grand Prize winner. In Arkansas, the Hartzell Homestead Creative Mercantile and Quilt Shop in Dover. In Arizona, Cactus Quilting LLC in Sun City West. In California, Cali Quilt Co. in Rancho Cordova. In Colorado, High Fashion Sewing in Grand Junction. In Connecticut, Cotton Candy Fabrics and Quilts in Brookfield. In Delaware, Hayes Sewing Machine Company in Wilmington. In Florida, Farm Girl Quilting in Fort Meade. In Georgia, Scrappy Rooster Quilts in Kingsland. In Hawaii, Vicky's Fabric Shop in Kapa'a. In Iowa, Off the Rails Quilting in Bondurant. In Idaho, Stitch and Snip in Garden Valley. In Illinois, Sew Modern Chicago in Arlington Heights. In Indiana, Unraveled Quilt Store in Spencer. In Kansas, Charlotte's Sew Natural in Newton. In Kentucky, Bluegrass Stitches and Crafts in Versailles. In Louisiana, Flowers to Fabric in Sulphur. In Massachusetts, Homestead Quilting and Fabrics in Lakeville. In Maryland, Cottonwood LLC in Severna Park. In Maine, Seems So Perfect in Madison. In Michigan, Seven Sisters Quilt Shop in Carson City. In Minnesota, Tiny Apple Fabric and Crafts in Anoka. In Missouri, the Rusty Moon Quilts, Wool and More in Willow Springs. In Mississippi, Treasure Chest Quilting and More in Corinth. In Montana, Be Lazy Quilting and Retreat in Three Forks. In North Carolina, Cary Quilting Company in Cary. In North Dakota, Raybon Sew and Quilt Shop in Fargo. In Nebraska, Acme Fabric and Quilt Co. in Blair. In New Hampshire, Angels Sewing and Quilting in Salem. In New Jersey, Urban Society in Westfield. In New Mexico, Quilted Corners in Farmington. In Nevada, So Ya Quilting in Las Vegas, who is also a member of our Hall of Fame, being the 2022 Grand Prize winner for the U.S. In New York, Calico Gals in Syracuse. In Ohio, Nana's Quilt Nook in Zanesville. In Oklahoma, Cozy Quilt Barn in Hennessy. In Oregon, Sunshine Quilt Shop in Medford. In Pennsylvania, the Old Country Store in Intercourse, Pennsylvania. They are great members of our Hall of Fame, being the 2020 Grand Prize and multi-year winner for regional awards. Rhode Island, the Blackstone Quilting Co. in Cumberland. In South Carolina, Sewindipitous in Rock Hill, who is also part of our Hall of Fame, being the 2024 Grand Prize winner. In South Dakota, Quilt Connection, etc. in Rapid City. In Tennessee, Sew Squared LLC in Atoka. In Texas, Stitched in Shirts Texas. In Utah, Scrap Apple Quilts right here in St. George. In Virginia, Artistic Artifacts in Alexandria, who is also a 2025 Creative Hub winner. In Washington, the Quilting Bee in Spokane Valley. In Wisconsin, River's Edge Antiques and Quilt Loft in Hayward. In West Virginia, Boxer Craft House in Ranson. And in Wyoming, Lickety Stitch Quilts in Lusk. Again, thank you to everyone who participated in this year's contest. It is always such fun to see the wide diversity of stores who win and to read all the wonderful comments that you make about your stores, your favorite stores. Our heartfelt congratulations go to all of this year's winners, as well as to every single store who received votes. It is truly an honor to be in this wonderful industry with all of you. Thank you, thank you. Before we close, we want to remind you that our friends at Shop Hop Inc., who is one of our amazing LQS sponsors, have organized some really great shop hops for the coming months. And we hope you will take some time to stop in at the fabulous local quilt shops who are participating in these shops. Many of them are winners in this contest, and tell them that Annie sent you. The All Texas Shop Hop and the All Florida Shop Hop start this month in March, and they will continue throughout the month of April. In April and May, there will be a brand new shop hop in the Pacific Northwest, bringing together lots of stores in Washington and Oregon. Kansas and Nebraska are also going to join forces for a two-state shop hop in April and May. And during those months, stores in Minnesota will come together for the All Minnesota Shop Hop. So if you're planning any springtime road trips, be sure to stop in and visit a few new local quilt shops along your way. Many of these shops participating are going to be displaying ByAnnie trunk shows. We've got lots on the calendar, and we'll put up the links for the shops hop so you can get the details, and then be sure to watch our events page and our weekly email newsletter to find out about what stores have trunk shows. Thank you again to everyone who joined us today. We will be back on Wednesday, April 5th at 2 p.m. Mountain Time with a really fun episode of Live with Annie. We are going to be joined by local quilt shop owner Stacy Murray of Old Town Quilt Shop. We're going to talk about the joys and challenges of operating a quilt shop and the ways that they work to inspire and support customers. Old Town Quilts has a really fun club called BAG Club, which stands for ByAnnie Groupies Club. And I can't wait to learn more about it and share it all with you. So until then, happy stitching!